and welcome to Diecast Restos. I'm Jason, and today I'm restoring a Lesney Matchbox 65B Jaguar 3.4 Litre. As this had a towing hook, I'm also restoring the 48A Meteor Sportsman Mk II boat and trailer to accompany it. My Jag is missing both its tow hook and its bonnet. As for the 48A boat and trailer, the towing eye is missing from the trailer, while the boat has been repainted. I've got another boat in its original livery, albeit battered, that I'll show you in a moment. The boat and trailer set arrived in the Matchbox series in 1958 and remained until 1961. The 65B appeared after this in 1962, lasting through until 1967. Here's a mint example of the Jaguar, which is based on a Jaguar Mk II. These were built between 1959 and 1967. This is a mint example of the boat and trailer set, with the real Meteor Sportsman 2 looking like this, the only clear photo I could find of one online. So let's first talk about the Jaguar casting. It replaced a casting I've already restored, the similar but Mark I based Jaguar 3.4 Litre. The 65B version always caused a bit of confusion amongst collectors. While the cast base says 3.4 litre, which is an accurate power plant offering from Jaguar on both the Mark I and Mark II, the box confusingly had 3.8 sedan on the end flaps. Again, the 3.8 litre was a real option on the Mark II. Which one is the error is anyone's guess, but the reference material I use calls this model the 3.8. The first versions of the casting were painted metallic red with a silver base. The base incorporates the engine bay. An opening hood revealed the straight 6 beneath, be it 3.4 or 3.8 litres in capacity. Jaguar did offer a 2.4, but that option isn't up for discussion. Silver trim was applied to the grille, headlights and front bumper. The first short run had clear plastic windows, but all subsequent ones were tinted light green. Prior to the paint colour change from metallic to gloss red, all wheels were the silver plastic type. They could later be found with grey or black plastic fine tread wheels. A late cast modification saw the grille reduced in size, losing the Jaguar badge in the process. The model's replacement in 1967 was the Class Combine Harvester. As for the 48A boat and trailer, the Meteor Sportsman Mk II became the first boat to join the 1-75 range. The boat itself was an all-metal construction that consisted of two halves, the hull and the deck. The trailers were too initially, when they had metal wheels affixed. These were later changed to grey or silver plastic though. Decks were painted in light to dark tan, while the hulls were generally mid-blue. Trailers were always painted black. Neither had any significant modification to them throughout its 3-year stint in the Matchbox series. The trailer simply had some strengthening braces added underneath. The axles changed from crimp to rounded ends as well. The peg that retains the boat on the trailer works surprisingly well at keeping the two connected, considering its simplicity. The Meteor boat and trailer was replaced by another boat and trailer in 1961, the plastic generic sports boat and accompanying metal trailer. This also had a Zamac outboard motor attached. Here you'll see I'm test fitting my Repro bonnet. That slotted straight into the guides cast into the interior of the car. That meant that the entire body could now receive primer. The Jag is quite a well-known car, so I'll dive into its history shortly. What is less well known are the details about the boat. Well, the Meteor Sportsman 2 was built in the 1950s by Fenn and Wood. Fenn and Woods were based in Taplow, which is a village in Buckinghamshire that sits on the bank of the River Thames. The boats measured approximately 14 feet in length and were built with an inboard petrol engine. The boats were constructed of mahogany frames covered with laminated and varnished timber. There's such little information on this company and their products online. A few forums have posts about the Meteor, but few have any definitive or repeated answers. So that's all I can really say on the matter with any real confidence in the accuracy of the information. Now the Jag is a different kettle of fish. It replaced the 2.4 and 3.4 litre Mark I models in 1959 and was re-engineered above the waistline. Visibility was notably improved by 18% over the Mark I, using slender pillars and a wider windscreen. The radiator grille was changed and the exterior lighting repositioned. Mechanically, the suspension was modified to allow a wider rear track and a raised roll centre. The rear used a live axle. Disc brakes were standard all round. Cost options included power steering, overdrive and automatic transmission. Engines included the 120 horsepower 2.4 litre straight 6, a 3.4 litre that this casting claims to have, which produced 210 brake horsepower, and the 3.8 litre 220 horsepower Jaguar XK engine. These 3.8 litre models also came with a limited slip differential. That unit was similar to the engines used in the Jaguar E-Type, just with different inlet manifolds and carburation. The Mark II's 3.8 developed 30 fewer horsepower than the E-Type. Between 1959 and 1967, 83,976 Mark II models were produced. 30,000 were 3.8s, 28,000 were 3.4s, and 25,000 were 2.4s. Production of the 3.8 litre ended in 1967, but the Mark II remained on sale until 1969. The 3.4 was rebadged as the 340 and the 2.4 as the 240. 7,246 240s and 340s were made in those final 2 years, with the majority being the 2.4 litre. There was no direct successor to the Mark II. The Mark II was notorious for being a great getaway car for criminals throughout the 60s. With room for 5 adults and the powerful 3.8 litre engine, it was particularly fast and effective. British police in response used Mark IIs as motorway patrol cars. In British TV series Inspector Morse, the titular character drove a red 1960 Mark II. Elsewhere, the Mark II design proved to be inspiration for Japanese automaker Mitsuoka. Introduced in 1993, the Vute fully resembles a condensed Mark II on a subcompact Nissan Micra platform. It has been on sale ever since, and only this year, 2023, has its platform changed from a Micra to a Toyota Yaris base. So now I'm beginning to put things back together again, with the hull and deck being reconnected, and the axles being hammered secure onto the axle ends of the base and the trailer. Each of those axle ends are hit with a touch of chrome. There isn't much of a reassembly process for the trailer, so here's the car, not that this is too complicated either. The transparency connects to the remains of a small rivet post in the roof, and the base uses a tongue and slot fitment at the front, with a tapped post at the rear securing it down. So here were my car and boat and trailer originally. The Jag was in a poor state, missing both its hood and most of its paint. The boat had been repainted by a former owner. The trailer was okay, but for a rusty axle. Maybe one too many trips into salty water to launch the boat. Both, however, had problems with the towing solutions. No hook for the Jaguar and no eye for the trailer. But here's how they look now. With my readjustments, the base has been repositioned to give the Jag its original ride height again. The reproduction bonnet was of a high quality and really looks like it belongs. The Meteor Sportsman boat looks exceptional, back in its factory colours. Finally, I've been able to use Tamiya's wooden deck tan paint for its intended purpose. There's my tow hook solutions, a repro hook for the Jag and a washer for the trailer eye. I've given the Jaguar the factory trim treatment and added some chrome to the axle ends as usual. Let me know your thoughts on this duo in the comments. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed the results, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've got the trailer connected to the car in the outro with the hood up for good measure. And if you want to see previews of my next builds, help support the channel on Patreon. All contributions are greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.